another one.
So this one says advice request. 3 juniors, no senior, need some direction. All right. We are a team of 3 junior testers. This is our first job. We all started around the same time. About a month after we started, our only senior left unexpectedly. Management says they're trying to find a replacement, but who knows how long that could take. Could be another year for all we know. None of us have any proper experience, and there are practically 0 processes in place. I see this as a potential opportunity to step up and lead a bit. The problem is I have absolutely no idea where to start. None of us do. At the moment, our day-to-day consists only of exploratory testing Jira tickets after developers have devved them, and we pull them into our testing column on the sprint board. We manually test them, check they meet the acceptance criteria, etc., then move them to done. There is absolutely no documentation anywhere. The only documenting we do is on the Jira ticket itself, where we write a comment saying expected results versus actual results, if passed or failed, more details if failed, screenshots, etc. We kick them back to do column if failed. I am really not sure where to go from here or how we can improve testing at the company. I'm hoping to look at implementing some automation testing with Playwright soon, but that's about it. It feels like we could be doing so much more. If anyone could advise or point me in the direction of some resources, tools, anything, I would massively appreciate it. All right. So let's get our timer up. And here's the thing with that, right? Does it help to have a senior at the company that you're working at? Absolutely. But if you do not have that senior, then I think that you are in the perfect and prime opportunity to become that senior. However, like you said, and it's a very fair statement because you all started together, and it's something that's a bit of a mess right now in your QA department, right? But here's the thing. And this is part of the problem that I have with many people, right? They just want it to be given to them. They don't want to work for it, right? So you don't have somebody in the company to mentor you, to learn from, etc., right? However, there are tons of people online that you can reach out to who can mentor you and coach you. And being that you're in such a prime position to step up and to be the leader, you can get an experienced QA engineer to give you like ideas, to give you structure, to give you strategy from their experience on, all right, what tools should you be using? How should you be documenting your test? How can you advocate for the softwares that you need to properly manage your tests? Or, so many different options that you can do, but you need to take initiative and you need to reach out to somebody, right? Somebody with experience that could help you, right? And guide you. It's not going to a boot camp because they're just going to like cycle you in, cycle you out. You need to find somebody who's actually in the field and who can guide you into the process, right? Because guess what? Like if you were to come to me, right, I could definitely help you with everything that you said, right? Because I've been through it all, and you don't need to have somebody in the company to do it for you, because like just reading this, I'm like, okay, you can do this, you could do that, you could do that, but it would take way too long for me to like pretty much to explain a blueprint on how to turn your company and your QA department successful. You have no idea what to do. The best thing I could suggest is getting a mentor, getting a coach, and you can tell them like what is the specific things that you're facing, how it's done, and they can say, okay, you can use this strategy, you can use that strategy. This is what you need to learn. This is what you need. This is the type of conversation you need to have with upper management. This is the type of conversation that you need to have with the developers. These are the processes that you need to put in place. You know, you need to like have the team learn automation. The way that you're doing it is unsustainable. Like for doing exploratory testing on Jira tickets, and then just and then after you only manually test them and they meet the acceptance criteria, when it's done, how about regression tests, right? What if the change that the developer makes in one spot breaks another spot? Do the developers have unit tests, right? You know, like without regression tests, if you don't know about the unit tests, how do you know if things are going to work or not, right? So so getting a coach, an experienced coach in the field, or a mentor or something, right? They can give you these strategies. They like, okay, how to properly write documentation. Where should you store it? Is like not even is leaving comments in Jira acceptable? The answer is no, of course. But how to properly write documentation, where to store it, everything like that. And when a story fails, just moving them back into the to do column, that's not that doesn't help, right? You should be creating a sub defect on that story, so and leave the main story in like in progress or in testing or whatever that column is, and then you create a sub defect and you move that to do or wherever column you want it to be, so the developers can work on that sub defect and not everything, and you can also track it, and it's not like the whole story being moved back, right? So there are so many ways that you can improve testing at the company, but it's like it would be a whole book to explain it on a live stream or in a comment or something like that. You know, like because you can look at some courses and stuff like that, but it doesn't give you the full picture. You need to have someone who you can work one on one with. Like, you know, be the same way you have at work when you have a manager and stuff like that. You have one on one with your manager. You need to have one on ones with a coach or a mentor who can understand what phase of QA, like the different things that you're going through, and properly advise you on how to handle it. And then that way you can become a leader at your company, and you know you can grow and skyrocket from there. Okay, so with that being said,
if you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.